Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Scales of War. We are a group of wargamers, RPers, role players, and just a bunch of people who want to tell stories in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. We are playing Fantasy Flight's version of Only War with heavy modifications. And today's session is going to be one of the commander sessions, which is almost exclusively homebrewed by us for a lot of rules and things. We do have a Discord in which there is a lot of RP that goes on, and I'm pretty sure most of the people are going to see these first few episodes. That's where y'all are coming from, so hello. This is where you get to see all your deployments happen, and the players get to take control of your regiments temporarily. So yeah. We can go through real quick and introduce everybody. Tell us your name, what regiment you're doing, and one fun fact about you. Let's do the icebreaker. We got the list. Let's start with Rasp.
Hi, I'm Rasp. I play the Molding 49 Civil Patrol Group. And fun fact about me: roller coaster go fast.
That works. MrNone.
Hey, I'm MrNone, voice actor, and I'm playing the Eyrie for this campaign. Like, fun fact about me, you can hear me as a voice actor on a website called Dice Tower Theater. I'm in their 3rd season. I got like 2 lines, but hey, it's something.
Oh, awesome. Actually didn't know what rules you had. Dan, you're up.
My name is Dan. I play the first Colorado Tank Legion. If you want tanks, first tank's got you covered. And fun fact about me, I am a Broncos fan, and I get to, for my birthday this year, I am going home to see a game.
Oh, heck yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, and Vallis.
Yes, I am Vallis. I represent Threnos' Mobile Task Force designation, Sirens. I am a homebrew engineer is the best way to put it, because I just keep making more for this system. It doesn't seem like I'm going to stop anytime soon, and I'm really excited to see it all get a chance to shine among our group here.
30 seasons down the line, we'll probably get through like the 5th expansion he's written for us.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I believe that's all the backstory back stuff. I forget anything?
You forgot that roller coaster go fast.
That is true. I did forget that because I haven't been on a roller coaster in so many years. Fun fact about me, I am a major Peanuts fan, and I think the last roller coaster I was on was in Camp Snoopy at the Mall of America. So, there you go. All right, so let us get into today's session. For those of you who are just joining us, we are playing, our player characters today are not the main characters on the micro scale, but are actually the colonels that are actually running the different regiments. And we have here our beautiful world map of the main battlefront, which is Malsekund. There are 3 other worlds, which our players in the Discord and our supporters, they're going to be doing a lot more play with that on their own. We'll give updates on that sort of thing. But right now, we have some deployments to get through, and I need to explain a lot of what this map says. So, if we go up to the world map, the inhabited geographic zones of Malsekund, according to the Imperial Census Submission, Addendum 0034. Timestamp was roughly 3 years before the fall of Cadia, for any lore junkies who are trying to place everything. So this is a slightly outdated map, but all of the world of Malsekundus is centered on the South Pole. The South Pole is actually tidally locked with the Maldine Sun. So everything you see inside the equatorial line is burning hot. Anything outside of it is freezing cold. However, that's not too much of a problem for the Maldine because, for the most part, They are a mining world, so they are mostly underground in a lot of tunnels, deep caverns.
Also, don't think too much about how the physics of that works. This is 40k.
Also, fair point. Just imagine Uranus. Basically, it's rotating on that axis and is tightly locked with the sun, meaning the same side is always facing it. And if you have any further questions about the physics, don't worry about it. I only took first year astronomy. I don't know anything beyond that. I'm a biologist, not a physicist.
Damn it, Jim.
So what we have here on the map, you'll see the multiple different colors. So you'll have like this one labeled Azure Vein, and you'll have Boring down here. Each of these regions are what we call the territorial cities. So these are the major political zones and the major inhabited areas of the planet. There are 3 other somewhat inhabited areas: the Untamed Heart, the Glass Road, and the Grasp. And they are they're not the Wildlands. How do you describe the Rasp?
They are they are untamed regions filled with dangerous wildlife and bandits.
Mm. There is also in all of these zones a lot of monorails and hyperrail routes that allow goods to be transported quickly between the different zones. However, again, bandits like to raid. There's a lot of great trade robbery going on. And that's not even the most dangerous thing, because if you go into these sort of tannish areas out here, those are the wastelands. And there are only the hardest, most terrifying people and only a few possibly terrifying creatures that exist out there. Nobody goes out there willingly. And as for the northern hemisphere of this world, nobody goes there, period.
There are rumors that the Deep Wastelanders survive there, but nothing ever confirmed.
Yeah. All right. Other colors beyond that. We have 2 main bodies of water, the Scar Sea and the Spill. There are also a lot of ruined areas. So these brown areas that you'll see, like here, Yonder Shoal, which was a former territorial city that got blown up real good because of heresy. These are now ruins that there might be something in there. People might be living in there, but they're barely eking out a living if they are.
That ruin there was a base that was nuked by Yon Shoal, at which point the rest of the Maldine were responded in kind to the entire city.
Mm. Yeah. All right. One other thing you will note, you can't really see it because there's a lot of enemies on, but you have Katotia in 2 places. That is not an error. That is the same city. It just happens to be on either side of the Spill. And further details will probably be in the RP. All right. The red line is the equatorial line. So that's the main division between the northern and southern hemisphere, and is about the only place that people can live on the surface pretty easily. I believe that's all the major details. Other than, right here, that is the center. That is the South Pole. That is where the banner is. There is currently a giant token of the Coloradicus there. We'll get to that in a bit. We also have this right here. This is indicating the current position of the Space Hulk in orbit. So imagine this is basically just a giant shadow looming over the world. And as things go on, I will move that around and show you where it is. Last but not least, we have up here, because it kept coming up in our commander session about, hey, why don't we just attack the Space Hulk directly? And I said, no, you can't do that because it's got a lot of really strong point defense and guns seem to be ineffective at it. We have up here our first clock of the entire campaign. So one thing that the commanders will be able to do is they'll be able to establish clocks that say, like, hey, I have a little project I want to take care of. It could be sieging a location. It could be trying to regain some technology. It could be calling in some special reinforcement or something. First one we have up here is if you hover over it, Space Hulk Research. So this is basically giving basic information on the weight of Sin, which is Space Hulk in orbit, and trying to figure out, is there any weaknesses we can even try to exploit? Yeah, last but certainly not least, we also have here our enemy tokens. So we have 3 major war fronts. We have the Bloody Claim, which is the one boxed in red here. We have the Boring War Front, which is in green. And we have the Grasp in orange. Again, because you may not be in the Discord, you may not know about this, but essentially the Bloody Claim Warfront is heavily mechanized, and a lot of armor conflict is going over there. The Boring Warfront is mostly infantry, and the Grasp is primarily aeronautica that's going on there. A lot of bombing runs, a lot of air superiority, air contested. And each of these, we have our different tokens that represent our different enemies and different types of enemies. So the ones that you see on the map, you'll see circles. For example, this chaos right there. Circles represent infantry. So pure infantry, all troopers are on foot. Then you have some that are hexagons. These are mechanized infantry. Could also be vehicle-based groups. So like vehicle recon, for example, they'd get one of those. We also have the pentagons. Those represent armor, so actual tanks, as well as our artillery pieces and anti-air, assuming your anti-air is actual artillery. If it's a Hydra tank, basically. And
Or equivalent.
True. Then we have our triangles. These represent aeronautica. At the moment, these are more representing air bases than actual air units. Our players are going to have actual air units that they're deploying, but the enemies right now, this is just estimated position where they believe the air bases are.
We also have one other token shape, which is not on the map.
Because no one's deployed it yet.
A diamond that represents basically cavalry and other units making heavy use of tamed beasts.
Yeah. That is one of the little expansions we have is the Beast Tamers. And they are literally, it's basically a guy, and they have their attack hound or their attack grox or whatever. And those would be represented by those. As well as Ras said, cavalry. Those are in the campaign. Those are going to show up. They just don't have any at the moment. Last one, which just recently created, is this particular one that's at the South Pole right now. That is representing essentially super heavies and mega structures. So if I ever get really tired of the players and decide, screw it, you're all dead, and say, get ready for Titanfall, that's what that would be representing. In this case, the Coloradicas have a special unit that's basically a mobile repair facility. I don't recall exactly what the name of the unit is.
Mechanicus Mobile Repair Facility.
That one.
at something, I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Or,
that is what that's representing. And unlike pretty much everything else, that has to come down the space elevator. That can't just be deployed like all the other forces. Okay. I believe that has covered everything. Players, is there anything else you have questions about the map? Anything I missed?
Nothing out of character.
All right. Perfect. All right, then. So first things first, we have a special operation that we need to clear up. So again, we had some in-transit RP, so some and a big commander session, which included all of our other players who have the minor supporting regiments. There was a lot of talk about dropping some forces directly into Bloody Claim. Reason being is that Bloody Claim has taken the heaviest casualties in this, and a lot of people wanted to get right into the fight immediately. Luckily, the Space Hulk is far enough away that it's not going to be a problem, and the Air Forces are a little tied up with a bunch of other things. So we are able to actually have that go through. I think the first thing we're going to do is I have a certain Commander Richthofen. There she is. Wing Commander Dietrich Richthofen. She is the overall commander of Aeronautica Forces. So basically anything with the Imperial Navy directly that would be Aeronautica is with her. So she is going to roll a command. Begin with. Oh, actually, Vallis, we need our first roll of the session.
Why, of course, my friend. Let's see what looks down upon our meager forces this day. Yatta.
Ooh.
Mm.
Have some fun with the Papa.
Rumbles and Zeechite.
All right. So first roll, let's see how Richthofen does. Okay, that is one degree of success with one roll. All right. Fighters will be able to scramble on time. Everything's good. I will say that the other players who are going to be involved with this, I will give them actual rolls to make between sessions. But is any of you wanting to drop forces directly into the fight at Bloody Claim, or are you going to deploy in the normal deploy zone in Gloomhome?
I think that enough Aeronautica assets are committed to that mission that I don't want to deploy any of my air superiority there.
Okay.
And I'm definitely not deploying any of my non-aero assets in that region.
All right. Question remains open for everyone. Again, there will be a lot of Aeronautica taking the heat off the skies, as it were. So if you have any ground troops you want to immediately drop in there, you can.
As tempting as that is, trying to land a kilometer-long dropship into that, just really, I'll pass.
Yeah, fair. There's a reason we have the deployment zones.
Yeah.
Okay.
While my forces could perhaps ride in with some drop troops thanks to our standard kit, I don't think I want to be dropping in such a dangerous zone.
All right, fair enough. That just leaves the out here, Eyrie. Any opinions?
It's tempting. I'm not gonna lie. It's very tempting to drop straight in, and it would fit what I usually do. However, these are armor we're talking about, and most of my units are infantry, so I'd probably be ripped to shreds very quickly. So no,
I will say, you do know that there is a lot of mechanized, and there is some infantry there, mostly supporting like the tanks. Wave of flesh to fit the tank usually.
Also, keep in mind,
Okay.
these are, from what I've heard, underground armor battles, which does give infantry an advantage in that fight.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was above ground.
It is.
Sorry, that's what I thought.
It is both. So, we'll get into details more when we get into the this particular battlefield map. But basically, the Untamed Heart is technically on the surface, and most of Bloody Claim and Gloomhome is going to be underground.
Gotcha. Okay.
Then I think I will actually drop a few units there. Why not?
Okay. In that case, I will need a roll from your commander, from your colonel, I should say. Command.
Command? All right.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll do it.
There we go.
6 degrees of success. Real good. Full 13. All right. Lucky number.
Hmm.
All right. I will say that most of the some of the bloodiest fighting is going to be up in the northern part. However, there is a city that is technically partially above ground.
Okay.
Oh. Hopefully it won't take too much effect. The other thing that you will know about this is from the reports is there's a lot of orcs currently besieging that city. So if you would like to drop in, your command was real good, so... well, first off, what forces are you deploying and how many?
I was planning on deploying 1 arrow support, 2 infantry, and my hunter killer.
Oh, okay. Pretty sizable force. With your command roll, you can absolutely do all of that.
Mhm.
And let me pull up the sheet real quick.
Which infantry forces?
Let's see. It will be, let's see, Eldrin. They're all going to be close assaults anyway. So, and we'll go half danning.
So this little cluster on the right here, this is what you intend to take? All right.
Let me pull up your Colonel sheet as well. There you are, the Jarl. All right. Oh, you know, that would make sense. Okay. All right then. Give me a roll from your Colonel sheet. Operate surface, and I'd say normally you'd have 1 tick based on the air superiority. It is currently contested. Overall, let's say you have you got 6 degrees of success, so I'll give you a plus 40 overall.
Oh,
I think I'm going to fate that.
Oh, yes.
degrees.
One other thing we should mention. Player characters do not our fate is based on ranks in our system. No one under the rank of a staff sergeant has any fate, unless you get it through character creation. Colonels, however, have 3 fate. So, yes, if you would like to re-roll a 99, please do.
Yeah, I really think I'll do. Let's see, that was operate surface, you said?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Actually, I made the wrong roll. It should be operate aeronautica.
Okay.
Sorry, I wrong. It would be the same number, but
Yes,
it
would be.
Ooh,
How?
okay.
Wait, hold on. What's with that target?
He doesn't have any points in it.
Oh,
They don't have to fly good to throw themselves out of Valkyries.
That's true.
Yeah. We'll check that.
You know,
All right. So I will say, based on that roll, all of your regiments will hit the ground. Some of them may have taken some losses, unfortunately.
All right.
I'm going to make a secret roll behind the screen, so I get to use physical dice. Yay. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's say one of your infantry groups takes 10%.
Okay, so that 100's down to 90 then?
Correct.
Why can't I readjust that?
You should be able to.
No, I can't. That's weird. I can't readjust the numbers.
It says control.
Okay.
Also, let me zoom in real quick.
Oh, there we go. Now I can. There we go.
Yeah, let's see. That's Heftig and Eldrug. Yeah. So I'm going to say they take minus 10%. Yeah, it would be a minus 10% for health, morale, and ammo. So some of the ships would have also been lost. So.
Okay, there you
but only on one of your. It doesn't really matter which one. So
yeah, it'll be Eldrin. Took the
right.
They were the first to jump.
Fair. Yeah. Also, it was only 1 degree of failure, so that's not too bad. Okay. With that, I shall move your tokens on to the city. Or nearby. Right. I will also allow you to give a little bit of leeway to like reposition everything, but I've got them moved down there.
Okay.
If you come to the Bloody Clay map.
Yeah, I see ya.
Yep. So basically, you're on kind of the south side of the city. You can have one token in the city, and everything else is kind of got to be in. There's a draw shape. Yeah. Everything's kind of got to be in like this box.
Okay.
Roughly. But you can kind of like redeploy and rearrange as you want.
Yeah, they drop outside of the city. These guys are dropping in, and these guys are going to be, if I can get them on that edge there, facing that way.
Yeah, that'll count.
All right.
All right. I will delete that box. All right, and with that, let us come to the next part of our campaign. So, right now, we are going to have everyone kind of deploy forces in their area, what they're going to deploy, and we're going to basically go around the table, as it were, metaphorical table, and everyone will be able to deploy based on, one at a time, basically, per region. So with that, let us start with the Gloomhome and Bloody Claim front. So that's the red one. And I'm going to count that as the Eyrie deployment in this zone. If you want to deploy others, you can, but you will have to be next commander session. So they're kind of like, waiting for future deployment.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go for the top then. Dan, this is your front.
Yeah. Okay, so just to clarify, these mega highways are underground.
Yeah. Okay. So, actually, I should describe a bit of the map here. So, the mega highways that are underground are the ones that have like the hatching within them.
Okay.
If you see the mega highway that is clear, those are technically on the surface, or they're like real close to the surface.
And what would an example of that be?
Over here, just where MrNone deployed, actually. Click that.
And this is like a spur of the monorail or the hyperrail.
Yes. So the black line that's running through the Untamed Heart, that is your monorail. Yeah. Other things of note, we have hide cities. There's two varieties. There's the surface, which is the yellow one, and the underground, which are the gray ones. No.
Gotcha.
This is a minor settlement or smaller city. Basically, not big enough to be a hive, but could be of strategic importance. You can get reinforcement. You get, shore up defenses, get some power, that sort of thing. We have here mushrooms. Because they are underground and they absolutely love their mushrooms on this world, those are essentially farms. We have here PDF. So the PDF is going to be, with every major hive, is going to have some form of a bowsprit. However, there's also typically some sort of headquarters, or there might be a trading field that's somewhere separated out from the rest. So that's what those represent. Then we have this here. This represents sources of power. Could be geothermal energy, which is most likely what it will be. Could be solar, could be wind power in some cases. But some sort of promethium mines are also a possibility. Refineries. We have here, this is a manufactorum of some sort. Something that's not in the major hive, but is kind of separated out. Kind of like a small city or something like that. Or the power sources. The pickaxes, pretty self-explanatory. Those are mines that are separated from everything else. One of the reasons why Bloody Claim got its name and its reputation is because there was a lot of extra little mines that were spread throughout the area, and yeah, a lot of fighting and claim jumping happened over there in the early days.
All right, makes sense.
Let's see. We have this feature. That is a hill. Usually will be some form of terrain modifier. We have these. The little gray triangles are mountains. We have, here's a good one. This is some sort of bandit camp, wasteland settlement, nomadic tribe that happens to be moving, something like that. And the last major feature, I think that's on this map, you can't really see it too well, but here, there looks to be like buildings with 2 spires. Those count as holy sites. So extremely important to defend for morale, for planetary morale at least. Okay. And with that, last thing to note is the green area is your primary deployment zone. You can move whatever troops you want in here safely. If you go outside of that, in Bloody Claim and Gloomhome, there is an opportunity to do it as part of Operation Sanguine. However, you will have to make a couple of rolls, just like our Eyrie demonstrated.
Gotcha. Yep. And final question.
Yeah.
I guess this. So in character, what do we know about the wasteland? Like, what makes it a wasteland exactly?
There is no mining operation there. It is completely anything that's on the surface is exposed to the superheated surface and basically the bright sun. Yeah, continue.
I was gonna just say, Mald Secundus has 2 types of major terrain. It has mountain and it has desert.
Mm-hmm.
If it is not in the mountains, it is considered wasteland, of little value to the Imperium, but still filled with the wasteland tribes that have been here since the Dark Age of technology.
So it's not like a radioactive dump then?
No, it's just very, very hot and dry.
Yeah.
Hot enough to melt through tank armor, or?
No.
Okay. No, but it might melt a tread or 2.
Okay.
So it is a place you could go there, but it is not advised.
Also, keep in mind that if you go in the wasteland, you have to get back up into the mountains if you want to do any of the fighting in the mountains.
Oh, I'd have to cross. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Okay. I'm going to deploy all of my available forces in the green zone. So around here-ish.
All right.
So if you move those in there, and I'll kind of move them around as I see fit.
All right. I'll start moving them over. There we go. There's one. Actually, I think we could probably...
First company, good.
There's 2 more.
Second, third.
And here is the last 2.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, I will move these around.
Okay.
Move you down here, and you here.
All right. While you are moving those around, next let's come to Rasp.
My deployment in this zone is going to be very simple. I am going to be deploying a single unit, which is my anti-air unit.
Ooh, all right.
Not really because it's going to be doing anti-air work there, more so because it's also the closest thing we have to armored power.
You know what? That is fair. All right. It has been moved into the deployment zone. You may move.
Particularly since
Ugh.
one of our armored vehicles in that unit is rocket tanks.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had that. All right. Well, your unit should be moved out here. Do you have control over it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm just
perfect.
deciding where I put them.
All right, perfect. So, Mr. Nunn, with the Eyrie, do you have any additional deployments? I'll say you can have like probably one other regiment could be deployed in the normal zone if you want.
Not in Bloody Claim, no.
All right. Moving on then to Vallis and our Siren friends. Anything you would like to deploy here?
As you know, I have to be real discerning about my deployments.
Yes. Yeah, don't have a lot.
I will, however, deploy a unit.
Okay.
I will deploy Delphi to the location.
Oh, fine. All right. Let's see. Kind of zoom in. One problem with having this world map and everything is I had to make the play area huge. There we go. So it's hard to read some of these things sometimes. All right. And oh, no, you don't need that one yet. Okay. Click away. There we go. All right, excellent. Yes, and I do know Frog Commander with our support group of the which was he? He's the Fusiliers.
Yeah, concrete fusiliers.
Concrete Fusiliers. He is going to be deploying in this city right here. So he's going to do a drop deployment. Right here. So basically the farthest city of Gloomholm.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. He, with his siege infantry, is going to shore up the defenses. Make, as he described it, make it an urban hellscape for anyone trying to attack.
More so than these tunnel cities already are, because
Yeah.
tunnel cities very much favor the defender.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Somebody was reading about Calth when they made this, weren't they?
No. But that is a good in-setting touchstone for the kind of fighting you will experience in Maldian cities.
Oh, right. Mr. Just to clarify, you have one token that's off the map right now.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
drop troops. They've not technically been
okay.
deployed,
Right.
per se.
Just making sure. Just making sure that that's what that was, and we didn't accidentally move one over there that didn't need to be. Okay. Yeah. So one thing that viewers at home will notice is we have the dynamic lighting on for Roll20. So vision is going to be an important factor in this. I hope you took recon units because that gives you a lot extra vision.
Mm-hmm.
But also there will be checks for like intelligence to try and identify enemies and that sort of thing. All right. So let us move over then to our deployments in Boring. So that is the green zone right now.
I just one last thing.
Oh yes, absolutely.
This is going to be the totality of my deployments on this map. Actually, all on Mahal Secundus. I'm also going to there-ish. I'm also going to deploy a section of stormtroopers to the skyport and the I'm sorry, what's the name of the orbital station?
The
The
banner.
banner.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they'll kind of act as like, liaisons with the marshal and the personalized bodyguards to the marshal and the inquisitor.
All right.
There'll be like roughly 2 platoons with like attachments, so say in total 50 men.
All right. Yeah, that's perfectly fair. Perfectly fine.
In character, like Sturnn is very suspicious about any traitors, and he really don't want to lose the Bastion or the Skyport. So it's going to be they're basically going to be there to protect the Inquisitor and Marshal, and to act as a like personal assault team to either, if they're like, I want to investigate this family. They seem really sketchy.
Mhm.
Kind of like what happened on the last map.
Yeah, and so for pretty much everybody, regardless if you were around last season, in the Alacran campaign, it was kind of split up in a similar fashion. There was a lot of like eco zones that were being set up and try to re-terraform the planet. And one of them was Solket, which on the surface appeared perfectly loyal, perfectly fine. No enemy troops had been there. Turns out, though, the heretics had infiltrated one of the leading families. And unfortunately, there was also an inquisitor who happened to be stuck there. And when everything was finally uncovered by our psyker friend, Weldrat, the Coloradicus went to town.
I believe there was also some detonation of pre-prepared explosives by the Maldine.
Yeah.
Yes, there were. And the Rooks, they basically just stood there and looked good. Because they were the distraction the whole time.
Yeah. The Maldine definitely opened the doors. The Coloradicus charged through said doors and killed everything, and the Rooks were
Opened the doors, blew up the bridges, blew up the
Yeah.
supply depots, blew up the armories.
Blew up the mansions.
all the
Lots
things.
of blowing stuff up.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
were there too.
that is my really everything for that. Go ahead, everyone else.
All right. So now we come to the boring warfront. Again, infantry heavy. There are some vehicles. There are a few artillery pieces as well. But in terms of like heavy armor, tanks, there's not a whole lot. Also, not too much in the way of aeronautica and air forces. It's mostly just a traditional ground fight at this point, through almost exclusively horrifying cramped tunnel systems.
Can I make my deployments in there first? Because they are very simple.
I was going to call on you first, so yes, go.
The remainder of my non-aero assets are going there, which is both my logistics and sappers.
Okay.
Both of which are mechanized. And I am also sending my single battalion of bombers, because any of this infantry on the surface is going to be very susceptible to getting bombed flat. And I'm also deploying a single battalion of air superiority to escort those bombs.
That makes sense. All right. All forces have been moved on the map. I'm going to say, because the bombers and the air superiority will need an air base to actually work out of, temporarily at least, you could be either they could be in the city or in the PDF bowsprit.
I mean, they are
I figured,
designed. There are facilities at that bowsprit designed for these aircraft.
I figured, but just thought I'd ask. All right.
The logistics will be deployed in the city. The sappers will be deployed Probably in the city as well, just getting everything shored up.
Yep. Okay. Excellent. With that, Threedos.
Again, not a lot that I can offer.
Mm.
Just on the matter of how my force is designed and works.
I mean, this is definitely the front for them, though.
This is also true.
Yeah.
So this is probably where you'll see the last of my deployments for the session. So, going to take in my other 2 battalions that I can deploy at this time, which will be Argosy and Patrice.
All right. I got Argosy, I believe. Yep. They're on the map. And where to go? Oh, you moved it. Okay, good.
I'm
Okay.
uncertain if I...
So yeah, same thing as before as well. All of the groups here with kind of hashing, those are underground superhighways, major roadways, that sort of thing. The solid black lines right here are the monorails and the railways.
Argosy is where my primary micro-scale units player characters are assigned. What would be most beneficial to send the direction of Argosy?
I'm going to say straight down this road.
All right. And this will be how I break up their deployments.
Okay. Excellent. All right, then. I'd hear Eyrie.
All right,
We have
well,
a couple extra deployments.
This is going to be just as simple. My air cavalry and the remaining 3 infantry, I am going to deploy them all into here because I wouldn't be helpful against air superiority at all or bombers. I'm best against infantry, so.
Fair enough. Let's see. Where's the... All right. I think that's the whole block right there. So, all 3 infantry and your air cav.
Yes.
All right. So all units scramble.
Yep. No, I can't move them.
All right. All right. All right. That's the air cav attachment. Yep. All right. I got it.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay, and I'm going to position myself down south as well. I'm kind of going to be marching. Come on, can I? I'll just readjust you because this is the one I'll show where we're marching. We're marching that way. Alrighty.
I will say right now, we'll get into a bit more of it after deployments, but there's no apparent fighting that's happening in that direction towards Gold River. Katoncia is heavy fighting right now.
Well, then we'll head towards Katonica.
Yep.
It'll be that simple.
Yep.
I will readjust this up to here then, and you can come here. There we go.
All right. Excellent. All right, then. So that is the Coloradicus, the Eyrie, and the Sirens completely done with deployments. All right.
Meanwhile, I have over half my regiment still to go.
All right. Let us scroll up then to the next map and the last warfront, the Grasp, the orange. All right. So this one's a little different. So, kind of the way Bloody Claim was, in that there was like a safe drop zone and then there were contested drop zones. It's kind of the same thing here. So, Log C is going to be a safe deployment zone. Pretty much all of Log C is underground. However, Ibersville and Richdelve are close enough to the equatorial line that it's actually cool and in twilight, so there's a lot of surface building. However, those are also high concentrations of enemy aeronautica, and Richdelve and the northernmost city of Ibersville, well, equatorial most city of Ibersville, has been bombed heavily. There's also the second major city, or major hive, in the back. That is easier to deploy to if you would like. There is also one of the Bowsprit headquarters there. So essentially, if you deploy in the green, no uncontested, you're able to deploy. If you deploy in the yellow, there will be some contested. If you're in the red, it'll be heavily contested. So that'll different modifiers and that sort of thing.
So I have remaining to me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 air superiority, 2 air recon, and an airborne electrovox warfare unit. I would like to plunge the entirety of that in through Richdelve.
Through Richdelve. Oh, all right.
Massive show of force in a place that they expect to have control.
Make a command check.
Oh,
right. You're.
Yeah. Do you want to give me temporary stats for this?
Actually, let me double check your sheets real quick, because you actually do have. Syria, Corid, Front, Everbert.
I don't know what that character is because I didn't make that character.
That looks like it was misfiled. Let's see, 49th.
It's the 40th, not the 49.
Yeah,
Oh, that was the one that I had.
Oh yeah,
From
that's
the,
right. That's
okay.
the one that's coming in from the off-season game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that needs to be moved out. Well, there are a colonel, but yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Right.
Major, but yeah.
Well, it's labeled colonel right here, but yeah, that would be changed to major.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a prospect from last season?
Not in this game.
Dang. All right. See you in a moment, Mouse.
What about in your file?
Yeah.
I would have to open up the other game to see prospect stats.
I think I can do that real quick. 1 sec. I'm going to exit game. Please do not mess with things while the GM is away. Where is it? Character vault. Characters in my vault. Import existing character. Battle for Alacrid, an only war game. Lavage. Graves, Dancer, Sturnn. Colonel Mercy Prospect. There she is. Import character.
And I think it makes some degree of sense that she's the one issuing this command.
I would say this first deployment, you are allowed, mostly for the sake of keeping the game moving, we'll let you use Prospect and her old stats. All right, has been exported. Double check to see if you got permissions. Punch back in. Yeah, it would make sense, at least for this initial deployment, like, hey, I'm in control of all the Maldine here. You guys go here.
Yeah, probably gonna get like +5 to that in the next session because you're essentially a brigadier general.
I was just going to say an additional tick of command since last season.
Yeah.
Here.
Let's see. There. Oh, it's at the bottom here. Ugh. All right, I am moving it into the Maldine.
Just move into the
Actually,
command.
no, she'd be moved into command. Okay. Let's see. Right under the. Yeah, right under the weak commander. Let's see. Edit. Be edited controlled by. Put in all player journals and edited controlled by Rasp. Save changes. Yep.
Yep. I'm gonna add that extra tick of command. Or did you already do it?
I have not yet, but oh good grief, OP.
Listen, this is the overall commander of all Maldine forces.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying it's unjustified. I'm just saying, I let your colonels get OP, but they are also kind of representing the entire force of the regiment, so makes sense. All right. Roll command.
Any bonus for punching hard into a spot that the enemy was not expecting a punch?
For your command roll, no. That may come into play later.
You are going into a red zone.
Yeah.
Yes. I am also going into a red zone with an overwhelming show of force.
32, target 70 force, 5 successes. Not bad. All right. So, with that, you are going with an overwhelming force. Let me pull up character's prospect sheet again.
I had forgotten her operate arrow.
Yeah, another OP. I'm going to say that normally, because this is so hotly contested, in that one it would be a -40. However, because you are going in with a heavy force of yourself, it's only a -20. And with your successes, you can pull this off.
So does this operate arrow -20?
Yes.
Ooh.
Fate.
Fate.
Yay.
That's better.
All right, 26, target 62, 4 degrees of success. All right. It was a risky maneuver, but you are definitely able to make some headway here.
By the way, Zoe is leading this in person.
Oh, I figured. Yeah. Let's see.
Mercy was not the type to have led an assault like this in person. Mercy is much more the strategist. Zoe is strapped into a fighter and is in the air battle.
Also, you probably wouldn't want to risk your, the overall commander in an air battle. In the first, volley of the war.
Also very true. Let's see. How are the forces? Holy crap!
That's either very good or very bad.
Yes.
Let me make one more. Oh, holy crap! Okay. Well, for the GM at least, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is Chaos rolled a nat 1.
Ooh.
The bad news, the orcs rolled a 99. So I'm going to say your particular forces, let's say 3 of them, the air superiority, took 5% losses coming down each. But you also practically wiped out a orc force in the meantime. They basically sent a whole bunch of oh shoot, I have it here.
Let's
Death
be real.
Puppets.
This is mountain fighting. The Chaos fighters are a lot more maneuverable than the Orc ones are.
True.
And the Moldine are very maneuverable and know how to take advantage of it in this terrain.
Mhm.
There was probably a lot of, like, baiting the orcs into flying into the side of mountains happening.
Oh, absolutely. All right, yeah, it is. It's Death Copters and Flyboys is the air support and air superiority. Yeah, you basically an entire oh, I forget what a group, massive air group would be called. I want to say
A wing.
flock, but that's all right.
Wing.
A wing, yeah. Basically, an entire wing went to match yours and was completely decimated. Chaos, meanwhile, sees this and goes, "Oh, heck no, we're out." And they just flew back. So yeah, with that, your overwhelming force is deployed with success. All right, they are all on the map.
All right.
Gotta like readjust them. And again, because these are air units, and this is more like where they're setting up base, it literally doesn't matter where exactly. It'll be mostly will be in the city. There'll be some probably out here. Eventually at this bowsprit pretty soon.
I think that's definitely where I is based.
Hmm.
YS is veteran air recon. They are probably a lot more able to just set themselves up in a flat spot.
Yep.
Where do I want to put my character? W is going to be based right near that holy site.
Okay.
The EVW is going to be based up near the bowsprit as well.
Mhm.
The second air recon is also up there near the bowsprit.
Mm-hmm.
Q is based over near the power station.
There it is. Oh, whoop. Sorry.
R is based up near the farm. And I think the remaining 3 are going to be based in the city.
All right. There you go. All right. Perfect. All right. So with that, that is everyone's deployment for you as the characters. Now, let's talk some strategy and let's talk a bit of intelligence. I know it's an oxymoron, military intelligence, but so first
Not if
question.
you're Maldine.
All right.
That's the name of the game if you're Maldine.
Fair. All right. So first question. Your current standing orders are basically land on the world, secure the central zone, and begin pushing the enemy back from whatever areas they're in. Deployment basically is taking care of that. Do you have any major strategies you want to use going forward? Oh, actually, before we do that, we should talk about other deployments. So we know the Fusiliers are going to be dropping in Bloody Gloomhome, and the Lances, at least, I'm pretty sure the Kandor and the Kuskaser are going to be providing air superiority in that area for a while.
Of where?
The Gloomhome Bloody Claim Front.
Okay. I'm
Because
going to say this, and
they're all I'll just say they're all aeronautica based forces, so they're mostly doing air support, clearing out for Operation Sanguine, and then where they end up is going to be a bit of a matter of a debate. So at this point, where would you like everybody else? So Dan, you had something to say? Please go ahead.
This is purely for RP. I'm going to put a scene together that basically deals with this. Every time that a Kusker air unit flies over a Coloradicus unit, it's definitely going to get Auspex returns from any and all Hydras that are present. Just like it's like, you know, not weapons lock, but like an active like ping.
All the Hydras turn and just kind of
No. Not even turn. Just like all the Hydras, like their radars, like instead of it just being like a passive ping, they go active. Just to make sure. And I'm also going to suggest that the Kuskers don't get too close to the Coloradicus forces.
That is fair. Right now, all their forces are going to be directly over Bloody Claim, so they're not really close enough for you.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Are any of the other aero superiority regiments putting pressure in the actual aero theater?
I am not entirely certain. I'm going to have to ask them. This is going to be something I posted in the Discord. And basically, all right, who is actually pushing forces? Because the only thing anyone said beforehand was Bloody Claim. I figure the Lances are going to be some might go in there, and I think the Kandor are going to put some. I have no idea about the Kuskaser. I think they kind of want to be everywhere. So, because they're trying. One of the things I should also say for our listeners who may not be in the Discord yet is,
by the way,
Shuska. I don't speak Latvian. I don't know. The Shuskaser are labeled as traitors. Whether or not they deserve that label is a matter for debate. But yeah, that is something in core only war that you can play a traitor a regiment that is labeled as traitors, and everybody basically treats you as with great suspicion, like you're going to open fire on them at any moment. So yeah, especially when you come up with someone as straight-laced as the Coloradicus, there's tension.
Yep.
They can save
this is
Maldian
all
cities.
expected stuff too.
Yes.
This is all well discussed. The little hostilities we have is
Oh,
all
yes.
purely RP and design.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not, arbitrarily and capriciously saying, yeah, fuck that regiment.
Yeah.
I mean, I am, but it's not
Yeah,
arbitrary.
this is actual. This is at the moment, at least. It is all still character conflict. There are no personal conflicts.
The Rooks have some battalions of dedicated AA, right?
They have one full battalion of anti-air. Yes.
I want that pushed as deep into the grasp zone as they can safely get it.
For them, it's probably going to be the south part of Immersville.
That is fair. I just want something starting to shore up the air defenses in Immersville.
That's fair. All right. Let me give a roll for Colonel Wellesley. His command. I forgot I maxed out his command too.
Yep.
Still not as good as Colonel Prospects, though.
Or mine.
Or yours, yeah. Flat command is 4 degrees of success. All right. I mean, he's from an ocean world. He doesn't understand this flying thing too much. But yeah, that's pretty good. So his operate surface. Oh wait, operate aeronautica. It's just going to be a 20. It's going to be a plus 20, basically to make up for not having it. He is going to spin a fate and try to re-roll that. Hey, 3 degrees of success. And now secret chaosy roll.
Uh-oh.
They just rolled a 97. So,
Yeah.
basically, the Chaos Force to see
Can I
the massive.
just make a flavor suggestion?
Sure.
On the way down, Wellesley asks the lander captain to open some of the doors and just points the Hydras out of the lander.
Yeah. So what happens is the Chaos Forces see the massive Moldine dropping and recognize instantly, oh, that's air superiority. Oh, we don't want to face that right now. So they turn around, and then they get a ping that there's another drop. And it seems to be a lot more vulnerable. There's only like 1 or 2 ships in it. So like, hey, we could take that. Only for the drop ships to open the back, and the sailors who are used to mounting their guns in unusual places, mostly on rafts in oceans, they just open fire with the aeronautica and land with no problem. And there we go. There is 1 anti-air in Ibersville. All right. Speaking of the rooks, since I do have all their tokens here, anybody else requesting artillery support?
Yeah.
All right. How many do you want? We've got 8.
I'll take a battalion right behind each Coloradicus column.
Okay. I do have technically 2 well, yeah, the Saphirids are also technically at veteran rank starting out. But I have 2 units that are extra veteran. Would you want one of those?
Yes, but I'm not gonna hog.
I'd say 1 veteran to where the Coloradicus are, 1 to boring, because I'm about to request some already in boring.
Sounds
Fair.
good. Yeah.
Because that's where they're going to do the most good, I think, is those 2 fronts.
All right. I was going to ask for a generous command roll, but I'm going to say if you're going to split the forces, I think Wellesley would be kind of agreeable for that. So let's see. We have the first. We'll go with the first.
Okay.
All right.
Put it right there. Let's put it in.
Let me double check.
Put it in right behind 2nd Battalion.
Yeah. Controlled by all players. You should be able to move it now if you want.
Yeah.
All right.
That's so annoying that it covers up the green dots. Oh well.
Yeah.
Also, the green dots, that's to mark the Valkyran support.
Oh, yes, your recovery support. Or did you get the 100 killers? You got the 100 killers.
Yeah.
All right. Which was the other? Second was 1.
That's why I put vet on the tokens that have veterancy.
Ah, there it is. That's the 6 that has the extra veterancy. All right, so the 6 will go with the 49. Whoops.
40th. Right? You're the 40th.
No, I'm the 40. I'm the 49 Civil Patrol group.
Oh.
Last season,
40th was, yeah.
Yeah, last season, or the off season, was where the 40th happened.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
There you go. Okay. Oh wait, I think you need permissions as well. Whoop. 7th artillery. I will rename that real quick just so I don't have to get another token. There we go. 6 artillery. Any other request? We do also have 2 battalions of snipers, 2 battalions of sappers, and we have 2 logistics, but they're kind of being broken up at the moment.
I feel like snipers would be useful in the primarily infantry front.
Mm-hmm.
And sappers.
I was actually going to send the sappers somewhere they could shore up defenses. Because I already have my sappers in the boring front. We don't have sappers in the Immersville front yet.
Oh, okay.
So maybe one of the sappers just follows the anti-air down to start fortifying that city up.
All right, we'll put the 11th there. And oh yeah, that's the anti-air. All right, and both snipers to boring, or just one?
At least one. I'm not going to demand all of them if somebody else has somewhere they would like the snipers.
I can't think of a better place to have them.
Yeah.
But I will take a sapper.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should have at least one sapper unit in every theater. I've got the boring covered. We've now got them in Immersville. You should take one with your column.
Yeah.
And you were requesting 2 artillery, weren't you?
I was, yes.
Okay. I will get a second one for you in a sec.
I just have to look up what sappers do.
If we could have an artillery battalion landed safely back at Longsea, just in case a target of opportunity emerges in that theater.
Yes.
But they don't need to be hot deployed like the anti-air and sappers.
All right. Here is your second arty.
What city within the deployment zone do you think the sappers should be shoring up? The Wolf Roost one?
Probably. So the Fusiliers are basically taking the let's see here. Yeah, the Fusiliers are taking the frontmost or the leftmost of Gloomholm. So either this one or try to shore up Wolf Roost. Either one would be logical.
All right. Sorry to ask this, but what in which expansion are the sappers listed?
They would be in. Well, sapper is a general in peace.
They would be Peace Amongst the Stars because they were unit type, not in
all macro unit types are contained within Peace Among the Stars.
Yeah.
They are in the guard unit types under support.
Gotcha. So,
okay. Oh wait, he's already over there, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, we should find a way to pair them up with some logistics for that. The Corps of Engineers combined arms.
That's literally.
The Rooks do have 2 logistics battalions. They were planning on breaking them up to give extra support for all their other battalions. But if you would request separate logistics, they can do that.
I think at least until the sappers get their ability off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna request some logistics. I mean, I've requested that RP wise, but
okay. Oh yeah, that is true. You did.
And
I forgot about that.
I wasn't even thinking about it when I paired my sappers and my logistics, but I have already paired my sappers and my logistics, so that's good.
Very smart.
All right. So yeah, just the 1 artillery in boring or 2?
2 in boring, I think. Because that's where artillery is going to do the most good. In Longsea, it just needs to be 1, just in case we have a target of opportunity come up.
Yep.
In Boring and Gloomholm, they're actually going to be needed for fighting.
Okay.
So we have 1 snipers, 3 artillery left.
Yes. Wellesley would suggest keeping them in reserve or deploying them on some of the other worlds.
Yes,
But
I would
most
agree
likely-
with that assessment.
Yeah.
I know that you aren't doing NPC deployments yet, but if I could just recommend that the 303 be concentrated in completely eradicating the enemy forces that have gotten onto the banner.
They are currently, yes. Along
Because-
with the Frisian, the Space Wolf,
Fenrisians?
the Fenrisians, yeah. Yeah, they are currently clearing out the banner, and Zerg actually rolled earlier, so Brother Goodboy, who is the leader, the Space Marine leader of the Fenrisian 3rd Auxilia, actually did pretty good. So major progress has been made in clearing out the banner.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
But at the moment, yeah, the other deployments of the Baldine are concentrated on securing the Alpha Prioris asset. All right. Update the world map between sessions. I will also get you the logistics later. I don't see actually having the token for the Imperium forces or the Rook forces. Okay. Any other requests that you guys have for the other player regiments?
Hold on. What's Combat Kitties regiment?
The Crandon, the 2222.
And they are
Siege infantry,
Siege
I
infantry.
believe?
Siege infantry.
um
They're the ones with essentially a boarding torpedo that is also a battering ram.
I would well I mean they sound really good for void combat.
Oh no. The boarding torpedo is a ground-based vehicle.
Oh.
But it's basically they took the idea of a boarding torpedo and said, "What if we put treads on it
Then
and put like 30 melta guns on the front? Just
okay,
melt
so
through everything."
gotcha. So it's like a termite on steroids.
Yes.
Probably the boring zone, just because that looks
Okay.
very, very probably the boring zone and the gloom home zone, just because that looks a lot of tunnels.
I'll actually need to double check forces, but I'm pretty sure they're pure infantry. So I will put a token here for them.
That would just be my suggestion.
I agree with that suggestion. I don't think that siege infantry are going to do a lot in the Aero Theater.
Yeah.
I'm wouldn't be shocked if they had sappers within their regiment, but we've already got sappers up there. And I don't think anybody is dropping their sappers into one of the red zones, because I think the spot that really needs work in the Rasp theater is the northern city of Emersville.
All right. So that leaves, let's see, the Cuscasair, the Lucrian Lances, the Shuskasair, the Lucrian Lances, and the Candor are currently basically doing the air fights at Bloody Claim. Let's see.
If some of them could divert to join the air war over the Grasp, that would be appreciated, so I'm not fighting it by myself.
Fair. I will talk with them to see who wants to do that. I know somebody will.
Also, just a little flavor thing. This isn't why the concentration of force was deployed at Richdelve, but since they did deploy at Richdelve, the regimental HQ is definitely based out of the Prospect family villa.
Oh. Fun.
because they are from that city and they are from money.
Money.
That's kind of what you are in Richdelve. You're either money or you work for money. And the Prospect family has a long, proud military history that has earned them their own private villa in Richdelve that the regiment is now using as its HQ.
All right. All right, so that means the only unaccounted groups at the moment are the Obsidian Kites Auxilia. I assume they don't care about Mald Secundus at all.
You know what their primary objective is.
Yeah, they don't care what's going on here. It's like, everybody else got that.
They are securing their primary objective before they think about anything else.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I believe that leaves only one of the player regiments that has been unaccounted for in this front at the moment, and that is the Berthroods only. Berthroods only. These are the squat truckers. They are logistics. They are here to help give recovery and salvage. Not really fighters.
Is there any way I could get some of them to hot drop into Richdelve with me?
I am certain, in fact, I'm more than positive the fact that they have drop atlases can convince them to drop in with you.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And based on your rolls earlier, I will say that they will be able to drop without much hassle. So, one mechanized unit should be on there now. I'll resize it and actually fix it up in a bit. Fix it up between sessions.
And hey, when they're not doing their job, when they're like in the city, it is kind of one of the nicest places to be on the whole planet. So,
kind of familiar too, because Mining World, squats.
I'll take a logistics unit.
Okay.
Yeah, personally, I'd say attach one to both columns.
Yeah.
All right. Let's say the Rooks will give you one, and the Berthrodes will give you a second.
Okay.
Although the Rook logistics unit is going to be helping those sappers set up defenses first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still have one with each
hold
column.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So the Rook one. Hold on. Can I have player?
Yeah. One second. Let give permission to all players. There you go.
Okay. So yeah, and then the Rook one would be down there because that's where the sappers are.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'll just
And
go ahead and
now
make a
the
note.
Maldine are part of that convoy. Like, they were originally, but they did kind of land in the back to be ready to defend that holy site if it is being threatened.
Logistics.
Also, so these are like, at the smallest, like minor hive cities.
One moment. Was working something. Ping again, please.
And
Gloomhope, because I'm focused on there right now.
Sure.
Yes, those are small hives or large hives. But all of those are the gray ones are underground.
I would say that none of the hives on Mald Secundus qualify as large hives.
Yeah,
because I think the stated population I've given for Mald Secundus could fit in a single large hive on a true hive world.
Yeah. So let's say, like, in the I don't know, 1 to 10 million.
I have populations for each territorial city, but that is not the smaller cities within. Those would be divided against all of those and the small settlements.
Yeah, but basically,
so
these are probably real concentrated and real dense, but they're like the population of moderate large cities.
Yeah. Not like Tokyo or like New York.
Oh no, not built. Imagine built like that, but only like a quarter of the size.
In Azurvane and Center City, there will be things that big.
Yeah.
Those are huge territorial cities. The other territorial cities, not so much.
Gotcha. Okay, my question is, would in Emersville, for example, the cities that are above ground, or actually all cities would still probably have their own like PDF forces and like their own like
Yes.
all
major,
anti-aircraft or whatnot.
all major cities have a bowsprit. That will include drop troops. That will include some form of air defense. That will include air force to a degree.
In the form of small numbers of ornithopters, yes.
Yeah.
It will really be the main bases that have a lot of ornithopters.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay. I just wanted to clarify on that.
Yeah. No, there are troops stationed everywhere.
Right. So are we saying like a battalion's worth or a full bowsprit, which is like a regiment's worth?
Probably
but obviously they're PDF quality.
I'd say probably in Rasp, correct me if I'm wrong. I'd say in the main HQs, that's a full regiment. All of the cities would be probably a battalion that don't have
I
the
would
main
agree
bowsprit.
with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically your capital city is the capital of each territory is defended by a regiment, and then all outlying major cities would have another battalion. And if you're in between, you're kind of on your own.
In the bigger cities, it would be more like several battalions at the main HQ, and then or several regiments at the main HQ, and then a full regiment at each of the satellite locations. But that's the big cities, which is not where the fighting is.
Yeah, that would be if you get into like Center City and Azurvane mostly. And like out here in Boring, for example, you've got the large city here, and then all the outliers have like a couple of battalions at most. Probably, I'd say, yeah. All right. So with that, any other deployment questions? Leave all regiments.
I'm just gonna drop an image for y'all in the campaign chat that shows the population breakdown.
Okay. All right. So with nothing else, with that, we will move on to some intelligence gathering. Actually, let me check this real quick. Yeah. Yeah, so like on here, for example, Gloomhome is 40 million. So each of the major cities would be 1 to 10 million. And then you've got all the outlying settlements, smaller towns and cities. People who are working around mining prospects.
In campaign chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maldon Reclamation campaign chat.
I don't see anything. That's weird.
You should be able to.
It's there, plain as day.
MrNone, can you see it? Because it might be a permissions issue.
Yeah, I can see it.
Last thing
it might be Discord having Discord issues.
Also true. All right. Anyways. Oh, dear.
Give him a sec.
Welcome back.
no worries.
Okay. Discord was being Discord. Roll20 was being Roll20 earlier, and Discord. Okay. So now we come to our next phase for today's session, at least. Intelligence gathering. There are a lot of scattered tokens on the world map to kind of give you an idea of like what might be where and last known positions and that sort of thing. Would you like to make any rolls to try and learn more? This would basically affect I will give you vision around some of the enemy tokens. So first question would be, do you have any specific ones? I'd say one per commander. Any specific groups that are on the world map that you would like to get more information about?
I'm not gonna roll this now. I'll roll this when I've actually set things up properly, but I would like to intelligence gather about this Chaos Air Force because they were a lot more capable than the orcs we went up against during the deployment.
All right. I will say go ahead and make a roll for it because you might have some intelligence on the ground.
I don't have
Oh, right.
set up yet, so I will make a roll for that later.
Okay, cool. Anybody else have anything they would like to... They have questions about?
Just general investigatories?
Pretty much. Basically, kind of... best way I would say is select one of the general areas or one of the specific groups, and you can make a roll, and I will let you know some more information about them.
We have a primary concern with the reclamation of this planet.
Yeah.
And that's with the rot that's infesting the civilians of it.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
During the retaking of the banner, it became quickly apparent that one of our great foes has a large hand in this. So we need to figure out everything we can about the gene stealers.
Okay.
Because we're going to need to root them out. And we are not leaving this planet until we're certain of it.
That is fair. So for now, gene stealers in which side right now? I know you mean in general as well, but that is going to be a clock right now, which we'll get to at the very end of this. But right now, it's which forces would you like to get a bit more information on? And actually get some vision. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Katonica.
Okay. If you would please make a Tactica Imperialis roll. And I'm going to say you are focusing on the gene stealers. So
I do have forbidden lore gene stealers.
Out of curiosity,
Oh,
where
you
are you
do?
going to see Katonica?
Boring Warfront. All right. Because you have forbidden lore gene stealers, I'm going to say you'll get a +10 to your tactic.
Okay.
Because this is much more of like, what are the tactics they're employing? What are some strategies? That sort of thing.
I'll use some fate there.
Yeah. As a 93 with 4 degrees of failure.
We're going to try it again.
New roll is...
Not much better.
89 with 4 degrees of failure. All right. Unfortunately, you don't know too much about this particular group of gene stealers. You had some forces that were on the banner, and intelligence reports come back to you. They were sounding something about a helix, something about merging the genetic purity.
It's especially concerning for my force.
I mean, sounds right up your alley, except that they're, obviously vile abominations and not human anymore. So,
it's the equivalent of a heretic trying to shout at a tech priest.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't get a lot of intelligence about what they're doing in Katonica right now. The only intelligence you get is that there is a group attacking one of the cities. And if I can do this real quick. Vision. Low light, say 10. And night vision 10. I think that will work. All right, so if you take a look at the boring warfront, which I will just say I love saying that so much.
You're welcome.
I see what you've positioned.
Yeah. So there is one group of enemy infantry that is assaulting the city, and unfortunately you don't really have much information about what else. You know there's others out there. There has to be, because you had some reports come in that were saying like there was a lot more. There's also, you do know there's a lot of orcs and there is some chaos in the area. Maybe they wiped them out. The Gene Stealers seem to be the weakest of all the groups that were on the Space Hulk. But they also survived on the Space Hulk for at least a century against these other factions. They got something, you know? Yeah, it seems like also pure infantry down here. There's been mention of having like modified trucks, kind of like almost orcish. Basically they took a truck, they put some steel on the sides, and they're like, good enough. And then they cut in some like portholes and they use it as war wagons. But doesn't appear to be any in this area.
Ignorance of your enemy and of yourself will invariably lead to defeat. We need to investigate further.
All right. I hear you, Eyrie. Is there a particular enemy force you would like to one of the smaller enemy forces, should you say, that you would like to
Yeah, I'd like to know more about what's around the city I'm currently relieving a siege on.
Makes sense. If we are on Bloody Claim. So, there's definitely orcs. They are members, as was said in the report, they are members of the first Shooters.
Okay.
And the information about they seem to be some grotesque parody of the Imperial Guard also appears to be accurate. There are actual vehicles being deployed. There is some. They seem to be wearing uniforms. They actually like. At one point, as you were coming down, you were looking and you saw that they weren't just rushing forward. They actually seemed to be marching in formation at one point. Lines were completely terrible. It would be like, okay, this is going to show my background. It would be the kind of, if you know a marching band and you know that they're like, really bad at it, like a high school marching band that's really bad at it, and the lines just go everywhere, and there's like massive gaps where there's supposed to be somebody, but there's nobody there. That's what you see. But it's a lot more than orcs usually do, so that's weird. Okay. With this, Tactica Imperialis, I will also allow war, because you are getting directly into the fight. And do you have anything specifically against orcs? Which is weird to say in this universe. All right, then. I will say that's going to be a flat roll.
All right. I have fate. I might as well.
You do still have 2 points of fate. You may reroll, because it's basically 50-50.
There you go.
3 degrees of success. All right. So, let me give some dynamic lighting to these guys. Low light. So yeah, the particular forces you are facing, they have an artillery attachment that is currently bombing the city at a distance. It seems like they've placed it under siege. They have been making some probing attacks. This particular group up here are commandos, which, again, very unusual that there's this high a concentration of orcs, but that seems to be very typical of first shooters. They also have a proper mechanized unit here, which appears to be war wagons, or war buggies.
Okay.
Yeah, war wagons, sorry. You also do know that there's some general troops, and no air support from what you can see. But there is one other thing, which you do see. They don't just have battle wagons, they also have death dreads. And I will give vision to this one right here, so you have a little better view of what's going on. Okay. There you go.
Okay, so for plebeian me, what is a death dread?
Orc equivalent of tank. Okay. It's really like this small, like a mech unit almost. There's like one that's one or a couple of orcs that sit inside, and it's got like claws and it stubs forward. But it would be the equivalent of a actual tank.
Okay.
Yep.
It's the orc equivalent of a dreadnought, and it's different than it. So yeah, it has a orc who's been surgically hardwired into the system,
Okay.
and it's bigger than uh it's different than a killer can, which is a grot who's been hardwired in
Yeah.
it. But these things are size 6-ish.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I'll just say mechanically for the game, they are the equivalent of armor. In reality, Dan is right. They're more like a dreadnought, a Space Marine dreadnought. Let's see. So this was going to be the artillery. What did I call the artillery again? These guys have big guns.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are walkers.
Yeah.
Okay, good
These
to know.
building-
Have any breaches been made into the city yet?
Yes. There's been a couple, but the PDF were able to shore it up. And
Okay.
reports coming in say that they have taken heavy losses. Definitely one of the areas of like, oh yeah, no, Bloody Claim is absolutely living up to its name.
Okay.
That being said, the estimation was mostly like 65% overall. Only been about 50% at this particular one.
Okay, good.
So they've been holding out a little better than some of the other parts in Bloody Claim. But there have been some breaches, again, resealed. There are several commandos that are basically doing street-to-street fighting at the moment.
Okay, good to know.
All right. Last then, because Rasp isn't able to roll right now, Coloradicus, are there any forces you would like to
Yes, there are.
try to learn some bit? right.
Hold on, let me.
I'll say right now you get one. Next commander session will probably I'll give you some more information, but this is like initial deployment, initial intelligence gathering.
Okay, well, all right. I guess I will pick the chaos forces here in Gloomholm.
In Gloomholm, all right. Do you have anything specifically against chaos?
Yes, but not mechanically.
Unfortunately, that it will be just a flat Tactica Imperialis.
Okay. Did it roll?
Hasn't come through yet.
Okay, it's weird. Oh! I clicked the wrong thing.
Oh,
I clicked the modify underneath it instead of the actual. Yeah, there you go.
yeah, there we go. Target 70, roll 52, 2 degrees. All right. You're not able to get as much information because, again, this is mostly reports that you have coming in. That being said, you do have a little bit of vision on this group. So these... Okay, yeah. Oh. Type in the wrong place.
Yeah. Keep in mind my thing, like I can see the entire map, so I'm trying really hard not to.
Yeah, but still allowing vision for everybody else.
Right.
So there we go. At low light. Okay. So what you see down there is that, or what the reports coming in is that Chaos has made their way into Gloomholm. Reports are coming in that the city that's right here, or the small town, I should say, was recently hit. You don't know if there are survivors or what the heck's going on there, but it seems like the armor has moved on, and there's multiple battalions that are in a group. They appear to be marching towards a group of orcs, and the orcs are marching out of the Untamed Heart straight towards them. You don't have any intelligence on where exactly the orcs are, but it seems like the two are going to face each other.
Right.
Other thing, there were also in the reports that there was some sort of really weird variant of a tank that they're being used. Do you have Archaeotech?
I don't. Let's see. No,
Okay. In that case, you
I
can
have
make.
tank stuff.
You have
Nah,
what?
I'm just kidding.
Let's see. Actually, let me pull up your Colonel Sturn's character sheet real quick. See if you got anything that would be applicable other than just straight intelligence. Um, you can make a. Oh yeah, tank stuff. I forgot you had that one. I would say you can make an Imperial Guard at -20.
Right.
2-degree success. All right. Something about the design of the commanders meeting kind of sparked your brain. Said something in your brain. You're like, I don't know what it is, but it does seem familiar. So you had your Magos look into it. And it turns out, that actually is a variant that it wasn't called the Imperial Guard at the time. It was called the Solar Auxilia. Those are Malkador assault tanks. They have not really been seen since the Heresy.
Well,
The good news that you would know about that is that they are a little weaker than a Lehman Russ, but they also usually they have a little more powerful gun on them. So,
they're actually more powerful than Lumen Russ, but their guns can only rotate about like 200 or 300 degrees.
yeah, I think they also
If
have
that.
slightly less armor.
No, thicker armor.
Really,
Yeah.
I will have to double check my lore with that then.
I think one of the Gigantum things has them listed.
Yeah, probably does. I think that may have been. Oh no. Yeah, they do have more armor. I forgot. Okay, never mind.
They're supposed to be a heavy tank in between a Lehman Russ and a Baneblade, but they're pretty dog shit.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is the armor that Chaos is fielding at least. Malkador assault tanks, and results are kind of mixed about whether that's all they've got, but you definitely know that particular group that's currently exiting Gloomholm, that's what they have.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Oh, good little information.
Mm-hmm.
And now we come to the last part of today's session, which are clocks and projects. So, normally all commanders are going to get up to 3 rolls that they can make for projects. I'm going to say today, everybody can start 1. You can only make 1 roll. So if you want to roll for the Spacewalk, for example, you sacrifice your roll for the day, but you can still start a project and get a clock put up on the board, essentially. So, let's start. Since you didn't get anything earlier, Rasp, is there a single project right now that you would like to start? That would be a clock.
I'd like to start breaking into Voxes.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to say you will have to focus on a particular faction for that. Which one would you like to focus on first?
The orcs, because I don't have to set up a heresy monitoring support system to crack orc boxes. The gene stealers and chaos are going to require a little bit more work to set up, because I also need to set up the anti-heresy systems as well.
That is very fair. All right, I'm moving back into the page. There it is. All right, I have 1 clock for you, 1 orange clock for you. It is 6 ticks for the orcs. And Beth, Orc Vox. Oh, wait. Actually, that would be tooltip. Wait. Yeah, no. This one needs to be tooltip. Death. Okay. I think we'll go ahead and get everybody's project first. Actually, no, this because you've got your personal projects for your regiment and then any general ones. The general ones are going to be in the green. And then each regiment is going to have a specific color. So, Rasp, would you like to work specifically on your Orc Voxes, or would you like to try and figure out more research for the Space Hulk?
Orc boxes.
All right, then. I believe we said it was a security to hack in, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So give me, let's say you could roll from Colonel Prospect today. Former Colonel Prospect, now Confidant Prospect. Let's say security minus 20 for now.
All right, that's actually a very reasonable target.
Yeah.
Compared to some of my other targets.
Yeah. Four degrees of success. A lot of progress made. Yeah, the orcs, despite being very much Imperial parity, they're still orcs.
I mean, let's be real. They're probably using salvaged Imperial boxes and probably haven't changed up their encryption much, if at all.
What's encryption? Is that like a squeak? So when you bite into a squeak, it is very crunchy.
Yes.
It's encryption.
Encryption. Oh, well, you stop on the Vox to make it work, of course.
Exactly. You got to crumps the box. Encryption.
Insert joke about crumping boxes.
All right, Vallis and the Sirens. Is there a particular project you would like to get started right now?
In fact, there is. We're a very know thy enemy kind of group, and we have an enemy we need to know.
That's very true. All right, you will be in the red. This one, it's the Gene Stealers, so we'll give it a 12.
I've got a spy master as well.
Oh yeah, I believe I have things of this nature as well.
Need to double check. Remind me, what does the Spy Master do? Because I know it gives you benefits to this sort of thing.
Every brass session, apply 1 tick to an intel clock.
Okay. So you just get a free tick. I'll make this go by a little faster. That's good. The right size.
The other one was smaller. It just depends if you want it to be the Space Hulk size or the.
Yeah. Well, I was going for the regiment ones being a little smaller. There we go.
Yeah, there you are.
All right. And you do have information specifically. You do have Forbidden Lord Gene Steal.
Yes, it's a fact we do.
All right then. You may roll that. Right now it's going to be flat.
Fair play.
Wait.
Wait.
I was going to say I should ask: is that what you want to roll, or do you want to roll about the Space Hulk first?
Oh no! It's know our great hated enemy first, then we can deal with the Space Hulk.
All right, so that is 3 degrees of success plus an extra tick, so you get 4. You get started with 4. Choose side.
I like the comparison of security to Forbidden Lore.
By the way, I have a cryptographer. Add 1 tick to the intel clock every brass session.
Okay.
I also have a spy master, but I'm going to be taking a different effect on my spy master.
Fair. All right. So with that, then, actually, Rasp, could you please repeat that first one?
I have a cryptographer that gives me 1 tick of intel every session.
Right. All right. I'm going to say that won't apply to the Vox, but you can apply that to the Space Hulk if you would like.
Okay, yeah. I was just thinking cryptographer kind of fits with Vox Intel. But I
It
guess
does.
this isn't technically Intel, this is the
Yeah,
attempt to get in.
exactly. Right now, you're trying to hack to get in. Once you're in, then yes, you would be able to get. If you're trying to gather intelligence on the orcs, you'd absolutely be able to add a tick to that. But right now, you got to get in first. All right. Multi-sided, choose one. There's one. All right then. I'd hear Yari.
Okay, so I can start my seneschal on his active duty. I want to find the orcs' supply lines.
Ooh, okay. How difficult would the orcs hide? They really wouldn't, would they? Also, yeah, this is actually the proper degree. Let's see. I'm going to put that as an 8 claw. Loading. 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 There we go. Oh. Paste. All right. And in this case, I would say this would be Tactica. If you have anything for the orcs, which pretty sure you don't, then it would be, you could roll that.
Could I convince you to allow me to roll commerce?
I will say yes, but it would be at a penalty.
Okay, what'd the penalty be?
It's orc, so it should be fairly easy. I'll say -10.
All right.
Four degrees of success. All right. Let's get this to side.
You set the seneschal to the task, and they answer with, "I'll see where the teeth lead."
The quest. Can we change the color of the?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not realize I put the wrong one for the Space Hulk. I'll change it. I'll change it between sessions. I'll get one that's a little better. In your case, yours is going to be purple.
Yeah.
So it's easy to identify the Coloradicus. Speaking of Coloradicus, do you have a project you would like to get started on?
I do. I would like to set up the project of I guess logistical lines, or I mean, they're going to get better anyhow because of logistics here, and yeah, let's improve logistics as much as possible.
Okay. Let's say pick one of the territories, and basically you can have groups tasked with, pardon me, improving local logistics. They'll be more, a little more tank friendly.
Wait.
I will say, based on where you were deployed,
I'm still missing one logistical token.
I need to actually put in the Rook's logistics token. I will get that between sessions.
Okay.
I forgot to include it in earlier. Apologies.
Okay.
Yeah. Wolf's Roost, Angel's Landing, or Gloomhome, you can improve logistics. I will say, if you do Gloomhome, it's going to be a lot longer because you have to actually get there and progress.
Yeah, I was gonna say Wolf Roost.
Okay.
And the border city.
Yeah, makes sense. All right.
Yeah. Because
thank you, Vallis.
I'm planning on using the train routes as a resupply point, and maybe not riding the trains, but using them to riding alongside them in my tanks.
Yeah.
And
All right. Because it is Wolf Roost and it is currently not under active threat, I'm going to give that an 8 o'clock.
okay. Question.
Yes.
What does Space Hulk research yield?
Weaknesses that could be potentially exploited. Assuming that you are able to get through it, eventually, this will lead to being able to plan out and actually make a direct assault on the Space Hulk. Because right now, nothing is effective. So first off, you got to find out where the weakness is. Then you got to gather materials. You got to devise a plan basically, and this gets that started.
Not really. I mean that sounds good, but instead I'm gonna do the logistical thing.
All right.
I have. Hold on. Is that commerce? Or what would work for this?
Let's see. Commerce could work to a degree. Again, you'd be taking a penalty to it.
Okay.
You could also do Tactica, because that kind of falls under the purview. I believe a straight logic also, ironically for logistics.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But I think that would be the big ones. Actually, here's the question, which would be kind of help with this. How do you want to try and set up the logistics? Are you working with the locals to try and improve infrastructure? Are you basically ordering your men just take over and improve? Are you just trying to identify the best lines and try to work within the confines?
So just because I'm assuming that the Maldine would be very, very happy to help out in any project.
Oh yeah, no, especially it's a place like Wolf Roost or Angel's Landing, which are
Yeah.
very devout, very imperial. They're willing to give assistance.
I'd work with them.
Okay then. Give me a charm plus 10.
Uh, 3 degrees of success.
3 degrees of success. All right, that is a good way to get this started. Choose side. There we go. All right, so you start talking to some of the foremen, some of the leaders, some of the rail managers, and you're kind of identifying like, okay, we got giant tanks. How do we move them fast? Where do we get resupply? Where do we get power? And they're like, they start pulling out the maps. They're trying to identify, like this would be the best for here. Do we have anything that you said you want to go along the rails, but just in case, do we have any carts that would be able to carry your tanks along?
Yeah.
They are being generally helpful, but it takes time because it's a giant tank.
Well, it's a giant mass of tanks.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right.
Hold on. Let me see. That's yeah, so that's 100 and wait.
What you doing?
I'm just adding up how many vehicles. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Just flavor that. All right. So I believe this will be the last question of the night, but because the Space Hulk was basically a pre-existing, it looked like everybody wanted to start that. I have it here. Is there any general projects that all of you can agree on that you would like to get started? I mean, if not, that's perfectly fine. This is very early in the campaign, but if anybody has a suggestion of something, feel free.
It'd be hard to find something to agree on.
Mm.
I'd definitely like to conduct interviews with the local PDF.
Rasp, what do you think?
Repeat.
For a general goal, I would like to conduct interviews with the local PDF.
I'm not sure what your interviews would consist of, but they scare me.
Keep in mind, this is something that the entire command staff would like have access to and be able to know what's going on with it. A lot of it might be like classified, like top secret or alpha prioris or something like that. But pretty much all the command staff would be able to contribute as well as know what's going on. So if you have very special interviews, private interviews, as it were, that will be a regimental project, not a general project.
I figured as much. I figured I'd toss it out there, though. Also gotta check civilians for the taint of the Gene Stealer.
I will say
doing
right
our
now.
part.
Yeah, I will say right now, just in general, any cursory glances through like Center City, Azure Vein, Angel's Landing, basically the areas where no Gene Stealers have been present. There's no indication there really appear to be any signs of Gene Stealer corruption.
There isn't ever any indication until it's too late.
Well, that and number two, you don't know what's been going on in Katontsa and Bloody Claim, and in the Wildlands. There might be something out there you need to purge.
Oh, yeah. That's very true.
The point is fair. The point is fair.
Okay.
All right. So I guess before we close it out, then, is there anything else anybody has to say, wants to do? Because if not, I think we'll leave it there. We'll update the map. I'll update the map over the next week so we can have a full view at our next session and full recording session where we're like, hey, everybody's here, and oh yeah, here's what's going on the other world. But yeah, tonight again, thought it'd be a pretty quick session.
We could do one group project, which is ensure the banner is clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We had various vent crawly things, and we need to make sure all the vents are spick and span.
Yep. I agree with that.
Ooh, that one is going to be a little tougher. But see, what with the blue?
We do
We'll
have
12.
A full, fairly battle-hardened regiment on that one, though. So
Yes, which is
that
why
will be helping.
Yeah, which is why this is a 12 and not a 12. Still going to take a while because there's a lot of nooks and crannies. There's a lot of vents to check.
There's damaged sections where the security isn't working. Like
life support is out at a couple places. There's certain parts that are still just exposed directly to the void.
When an engineer disappears, we're not sure if a hunk of metal took him out or if he's now an enemy. It's a lot of stuff.
Would we get bonuses to this because there isn't Astartes like helping out?
To ensure that everything is cleared out, that's not like hiding away. Yes, but that's also basically being taken care of. This is more of scanning and ensuring. So the Astartes would be able to help some, but also
would the Fenrisian wolves help with their sniffy noses?
In sniffing into the
you know
void.
what? Actually, yeah, they
like
actually do have actual wolves as well. That actually would help. So yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
I'll leave it up to you guys if one person wants to roll that. It's basically it's just going to be a luck roll. And I'm going to set the DC. Before you roll, I'll say what the DC is. Okay, let's say right now it's a 30, because literally everything just happened on the banner. This is like the immediate danger is gone. Now we make a sweep.
Oh, brother.
Can I fate that?
I will say yes. You can fake that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I was gonna say 98. Another commander goes missing.
98 to natural 1.
That's a huge swing.
All right, so normally that would be 3 degrees of success. We're tripling that. Let's say on a crit success, it's normally double degrees of success. On a nat 1, it triples. So yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I think this involves more bannerman badassery.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of bannermen who are literally just crawling through the vents, and then they see those in Eldar. They immediately shoot. They open fire. Oh no, the Eldar's dead. They kick it out the vent. They move on.
Read all about it in next week's issue of Bannermen.
I'll say the Sirens also brought a few of their special creatures on, which
Oh yeah.
they're able to help identify things just a little bit. I mean, is a lot of
see
metal.
you in the RP, Rasp. You get to meet the dogs, or what we call dogs.
Yeah.
I also like that this will now involve the prologue characters.
Yeah.
Dusty has to make up for himself. I mean, honestly,
maybe not Grog.
Specifically involving the Maldine prologue characters.
The Bannermen.
Yeah. I mean, he'd like to do it, but tight spaces and everything.
It darkened there.
Yeah, he'll have more fun at boring anyways.
Yeah.
Boring's just a better place all around.
Yeah. It is in a closed tunnel, but it's a massive, big open tunnel.
Yeah.
There's so much space. It's like being outside.
Oh, he's definitely
like
part of the
being outside, but inside.
Yeah. He's
Boring.
He's
It's anything but.
He's definitely part of the group that is going to the Skyport.
Yeah. Oh, after that, I definitely would say yes. All right. Last minute check. Anything else? If not, I think we will call it there for the night. Again, thank you everyone for listening. I hope this was fun. Looking at the strategic combat view, this is personally kind of my favorite part, of what I actually love working on and doing. So it's always fun to see it come together, even if it is chaotic and a mess.
I just loved your reaction when I said, what if I just deploy 2/3 of my regiment into one of the red zones?
Yeah, so I was like, oh, that kind of negates a lot of the problems going into the red zone. And you do have the air superiority, so it's like, you guys actually might pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else was like, yeah, we're done deploying already. It's like, oh, okay.
It is quintessential Maldine tactics. Just hit with a big hammer where the enemy least expects it, using your superior mobility and communications.
Mm-hmm.
There will always be more to see. There will always be more RP. More stories to tell. More fights to witness.
Aye. So we
More
should be
roller
back.
coasters that go fast.
Yep.
And with that, we are signing off.
Yep. We just double checking with everyone real quick. We are on for next week, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then we will be back next week. Like I said, we'll show the world map fully updated with all the other player characters and what their deployments are. And then we will get into the first proper session with our actual micro characters.
The main cast, if you will.
The main cast, it is going to be very boring. All I can say right now. And with that, thank you for watching us at Scales of War. We will see you next time. Adios.